The chapter name is what? Sorting materials into groups. Sorting materials. Sorting materials into groups. Yes. So here children, materials. The word materials means what? In the first chapter we studied food. Then next we studied components of food. And in the previous chapter we discussed fiber to fabric. All these in all the three chapters, right? We have discussed the food. In the food, what all we discussed? What type of food we are going to consume, the different varieties of food, and in that different varieties of food, the nutritions were there, right? We studied the nutritions and components of food, what type of food is going to be taken and how it is going to be, from which substance is having which component, and protein, carbohydrates, these all we studied. That's also material. And in fiber to fabric, the different fabrics, the animal product or plant product we discussed. Right? So let us consider now in this chapter sorting materials into groups. Sorting materials into group means what? We need to make a separate. There are varieties of substances are there around surrounding us, right? Let us consider maybe vegetables, maybe fruits or clothes material, right? And books, stationery materials, any electrical tools, goods, okay? The vehicles and the instrument, the parts of vehicle. So many materials are there, right? The things are there. Then how can we sort out those things? We have surround fan, okay, in our home. The utensils are there and the what we can say that toys, ball, bag, right? The playing toy, so many things. Then here, what we in this lesson, what we are going to study, how these materials are going to be making groups. Group means what? We know that. How we are going to making groups? If we are going to make a group which are similar mindset, similar mind. How we are going to make your friends? You think that okay, if she or he is your friend, what qualities you have? Okay, she is also like me. She will be my friend. Then again, the group you are going to create. Group means what? The similar characters, similar behavior we are going to find, like peer groups. Okay, where we are going to match. Okay, they are going to synchronize our behavior in that matching. And here, let us come back to here. Then, how we have to sort out, we have to separate the things to make the certain groups. Then, to make groups, we need some criteria, right? How we are going to, for example, if I want to make a friends, what I used to do, I am going to find some characters in those groups. Okay, so if that character is going to match, I think that okay, I will be in that group. So they are going to be similar. Okay, and here that right characters or right properties, what we used to say that by considering we need one reference so that we can make a group, right? One reference is required. For example, okay, that group is, they are all rounder. So that all rounder will be in one group. They are going to participate either in speech or like that. Okay. And here, then how these materials are going to be sorted out? How these? So for that, we are going to refer either shape of those substance or color of those substance or even which material is used to make those objects, right? And their appearance, their toughness, hardness, softness. their colors, their shape. These all things we are going to consider. And by considering these all properties, we are going to sort out the materials into group. So here, what all the considerations are what? Either we can consider the shapes. Okay, if we consider the shape of any object. Okay, let us consider here if I have taken the pen and see the duster, the shape of the duster is different. Okay, and shape of the pen is different. If we taken any ball, that ball shape is also different. So here, what all the shapes we have studied? We studied that round, okay, circle, right, and square, and rectangle, triangle, okay, then pentagon, okay, and hexagon. Like here are some different shapes. So here, like objects are going to be the objects which are circle. The objects which are resembles the circle, round shape. They all are going to be in one group. They are known as round shape materials. Right? And if the materials are square, so all the square materials are making group and we are giving the name. These materials are resembles or as a square shape. Right? And some materials which are rectangle. Okay, those all materials are placed in this group. And triangle materials are placed in the triangle group. And pentagon, hexagon, right? Pentagon means what? How many sides are there? 5 sides. Hexagon, 6 sides. So like this, by considering shape of those substance or objects, right? Objects. Those objects, what we are going to consider, those objects, what we used to say, that shape of those objects. Okay, the objects which are sort out by considering their shapes. By considering their shape, they are going to classify or they are going to sort out. They are going to separate. If they are round shape, they are going to be made a round shape objects, square shape objects, rectangle shape objects, triangle shape, and pentagon and hexagon. This is by considering shape. Right? Then another property which we can consider by their colors. Right? Colors is also a property where we can sort out the materials. Right? Some objects are there which are similar in colors. How many colors are there? 7 colors are there. We used to say that rainbow, spectrum, rainbow or say spectrum. What are those colors? Right? Orange, red, green, blue, white, right? And yellow, violet, purple, and later there is some. But rainbow colors are what? We used to write Vibgyor. What we are going to write here? Vibgyor. What is it? Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Or if we are going to write here, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. So these are the rainbow colors. We used to say that Vibgyor. And by considering color of the object, here they are going to be sorted in. For example, the objects which are orange colors. Okay, they may be clothes, may be the orange color clothes or orange color fruits, orange color vegetables, orange color toys. They are going to make a group by considering the color. Okay, right. So by considering shape also, we can make a group of those objects. We can make separate those objects. By considering their colors also, we can make a group of objects. Right? Then again, how we can sort out the objects and materials they are made of. Now, the first we may consider shapes and colors. Then next, materials. Right? Materials. Okay, here I will write first one by considering shapes. Then second one, colors, and then material. So here some materials are made up of different materials, right? Whether objects which are made up of different materials. What are those different materials? We know some toys are made up of plastic, some toys are made up of some metals, and in our home utensils are made up of with the help of metals, and your water bottle, tiffin box, right? And pen, pencil, eraser, duster, board, whatever the surrounding, you just go on thinking that surrounding objects. Each object is made up of with a different material. So on the basis of, so for example, I am taking the plastic material. Okay, one of the reference I have taken. Okay, make sort out the objects which are made up of plastic. Okay, what you are going to do? Write there. What all the objects you are writing there? You can write plastic balls, plastic bag, right? And the bottle, any containers which are made up of plastic, right? And your pen, duster, or water bottle, tiffin box. Are you getting? Right? So here the material is also one of the reference so that we can sort out, we can make a group. One type of the objects which are made up of one type of material. Right now I given, okay, make a list of objects which are made up of plastic material. Then make a list of objects which are made up of some metal. Okay, some metal means what we can write that any electrical tools, for example, screwdriver, okay, and iron box, and then some cooking utensils, right, and some machinery tools. Those are made up of metal. And okay, make a list of metals which are made up of cotton. Already we studied that fibers, the clothes, cotton clothes, mattresses, pillows. Okay, so like this, here we are going to make the group of those objects on the basis of shape, colors, and the material, on which material are used to make those objects. That is what we are going to say here. The object, the material which they are made up of. Either those objects are made up of plastic, make a group of plastic material. The objects which are made up of plastic, the materials which are made up of materials which are made up of. What are those? Either plastic, right, or metals, or any fibers. Okay, any fibers. So here, materials, they may be made up of either plastic, metal, fibers, and polyester. Okay, fibers again we can classify here. And glass also, glass materials also there, and wooden materials also there, wood, right? Then again what? Soil or mud, mud or soil. These are some examples, right? So then the substance or objects which are made up of soil or earthen pots, we have seen that, earthen pots, okay, and with the objects which are made up of plastics, the objects which are made up of metal. Just give one example here. Here we can write earthen pots, right? Have you seen that earthen pots? In summer days we are going to see that, which are made up of by using mud, right? Earthen pots and plastic. Nowadays we are using too much of plastic container. Every day the plastic becomes one of the, in our lifestyle we have addicted to those plastic. We know that those are Tupperwares. Okay, the word we are using, those are the recycle and non-toxic and all. But even though they are manufactured on the plastic, okay, high quality plastic. Then metals. I told you, metals where we are using by making some cooking utensils and making some electrical tools also, okay, some vehicle, automobile tools, right? Then fibers, obviously clothes, mats, and some interior decorating objects, and glass also. With the help of glass, so many we are using for a, even in cooking in your home, as in kitchenwares also there with the help of glass, and even decorative also there. Wood, wood is also using for making different, right? So many objects we are making with the help of wood. So here, these are what the some example of materials. By using these materials, the objects are going to be prepared or making the object, and those objects which are made by these materials are going to classify and they are making in groups. Okay, if the objects which are made up of earthen, then mud or soil, they are going to be classified in this group. Okay, those objects are made up of the material of mud and they are classified in that group. And objects which are made up of plastic, like a bottle, tiffin box, and toys, whatever, they are going to make a group in plastic material. Metals like iron box or automobile tools, screwdriver. In your surrounding only, just to go through your surrounding, what all the objects are there in your home. Okay, pick one by one and make a list. Okay, this object is made up of mud. Write down the name of that object. Take another object. Okay, this object is made up of plastic. Write down here. It is with the plastic group. So how you have to do that group? Group here the objects. In one column you have to write objects. Okay. In the next column, what you have to write? The material which are made up of. Material which are made up of. Okay. Which are, it is one type of sorting. Right? Another type of sorted is what? Another type of sorted is, here I am going to write plastic is my material. Material is what? Plastic. Right? And next, in this I want to write all the such objects which are made up of plastics. Okay? Like this. Don't go here. In the material plastic, write down one by one. Like bottle, okay, then box or pen, like, then here that soil or mud. So here we are going to write earthen pots, right? And next, which is metal. Like that, take in your home only, take those objects and make a group of those objects which are made up of different materials, Okay, yes. So now here we have discussed in the introduction part is what we have discussed. Here the sorting materials into groups. Groups means I told you. What is that group? The similarities which are showing the number of components or number of things which are going to be in a uh, one side. Okay, they are going to be showing their similar properties. That is what we used to say that group. The group, and here the materials which we need to sorting and separating. On what basis? Here some basis we have considered. Basis means what? The properties. We need some reference. Okay. If we want to make any group, we need one reference. On what basis we are going to make a group? That is what here. These are reference. On the basis of shapes, we are going to make a group of those such shapes of object. Okay, circle shape of object resembles like ball. Okay, all the type of ball. Take out football, volleyball, throw ball, right? And your cricket ball and your marbles also, what you used to play. And even in your home, what all the things will come under which are in a circle shape. Those all we can write the shape resembles. They are in the group. Circle shape or materials. The materials which are resembles circle shape. So you are going to write down all the materials in that column. Okay. And next, here I will write shapes. Okay. Circle, then square, and rectangle, triangle, and pentagon. Okay, then hexagon. So here, what all the objects are there which are shows the shape of these? Then write down here. The object here make a shape. What is the shape? Circle. If I am considering the circle shape, then write down all the objects one by one. Ball. Okay. Then what comes? Marble. Like small marbles you used to play, right? And then go on writing that object. Next, square. What are the objects which resembles in a square shape? Like this, you have to sort out. You have to make a column of on the basis of the shape. Then on the basis of the, it is easy, right? This is easy. By seeing those objects, their appearance, by seeing that object, we'll come to know that, okay, this object is circle in shape. I am going to write in that group. And this object, it is easy that we can make it on the basis of their shapes. Okay. Then colors also we can, by seeing only with our eyes, we will come to know that, okay, this is orange color, blue color, red color, white color. We are going to make separated. But here materials, it is difficult, right? Whereas metals, when we come to know, and some will come to know that if it is plastic, we come to know that, okay, these are the plastic objects. Then how we come to know that the materials which are objects are made up of? By their appearance. By their appearance. Then what is this appearance? Appearance means their hardness and soft. By holding, okay. If we touch that way, if we hold it, then we come to, if it is too much hard, we'll tell that it is a hard substance and it may be made up of either metal or glass. Okay. So when we come to know that the glass, when it is transparent, the word transparency. Transparency means what? We know that in our windows, the light allowed to pass through that. That is what they are going to allow themselves. They are going to make allowing that light is going to pass through them. That transparency. We can see from this surface to another. Is my palm is transparency? No. If I hold, not able to see that, it is not allowing to pass. It is not, palm is not allowing to pass through that light. So palm is not a transparency. So here, these metals are going to, that materials are going to classify on which material is used. Then how it is going to be found out? With the help of the properties. Okay, that we'll discuss in the next class. Right? How to sort out the object we discussed here on the basis of shape, on the basis of their colors, and what material are used to make that object. And in the next class, we'll discuss the properties of these materials.